Starting with the supply piece, we will start to see capacity come online slowly. Late Q4 through 2027, the supply side will respond to current pricing signals, but it's unlikely to be as pronounced as it was in the 2018 and first half of 2019 period, and certainly not as pronounced as it was in the 2020, late 2021, all through 2022 period. So you will start to see supply come online. The amount of new truck orders, even accounting for the fact we've had a regulatory certainty is now there. Even if there's some pull forward, there's too many Class 8 vehicles being ordered right now to just be replacement. There is going to be expansion, but it will be slower. It will take time. Where will those drivers come from? Trucking's any labor market. Folks are going to look out. They're going to see wage increases. They're going to hear folks talking about it. They're going to say, you know what? I don't feel like running a forklift. I'll go to CDL school. So the driver pool, that we've always found ways to add drivers, even back before all of the conversations about immigration and things like that. The 1990s, we added hundreds of thousands of folks into the trucking sector in a labor market that was even tighter than today on an overall basis. So we will see capacity added, but it's likely to be slow. So that would be good news from a rate standpoint. Where I think there's a big wild card for trucking demand in the back half of this year is, what does the Federal Reserve do about interest rates? Because you have a hawkish Fed, and I would not be surprised if there's not at least one interest rate hike, if not potentially two interest rate hikes this year. And what we've seen the last several times where interest rate hikes take place is you start to see demand for trucking cool fairly quickly once that happens. We saw that in Q4 of 2018 and through Q1 of 2019. And obviously 2022, that bull market cycle ended because the Federal Reserve killed it starting in March of 22 when they started raising interest rates. And so I think the challenge is that you're not, single family housing is not coming back this year. Consumer spending on durables is not coming back in the back half of this year and whatnot. And so you have, again, this AI boom that's going to keep continuing, but then you likely have the Fed looking at hiking rates. What's difficult to say is, what would 25 or 50 basis points of interest rates hike do in this conversation? But so I don't see that much opportunity for trucking demand to grow significantly. It's not going to grow like it did in 2017 or 2018. But with supply coming online slowly, I think the market's got legs to stay in carriers' favor through the rest of this year, certainly into 2027. But then the question is going to be, do we see growth in 27? And again, there's all the potential wild cards of, if something would happen and oil shoots up to 120 or 150 a barrel, then all bets are off given where the consumer is currently at.